That's not
so once all the dust settles there, he goes back to Smoky Mountain and replaces his old friend Bob Caudle. And a few months later, Vince hires JR again, seemingly out of the blue. He gets a call that says, "Jim, it's Vince. Are you ready to go back to work?" And I guess they had another chance to reassess what he could do. And they want to bring him back as a producer and essentially be J.J. Dillon's assistant in talent relations. And of course, Jim Ross jumps at the chance to do that. Talk to me about, this offer. This is a little different. We're not going to have you on camera anymore, which everybody knows is really what Jim wants to do, but talent relations and like an assistant to JJ, is that something that you present, that JJ presents, or is that Vince's idea?
It came up where, you had Pat and I there, doing everything, including, booking all the towns, writing all the television, just doing everything. And with Raw being what it was becoming, it wasn't too much, but we needed to focus on television. And JJ was doing the live events, booking the live events and putting those cards together. And I don't think that Vince was particularly happy with JJ doing that. And JJ had a lot on his plate. So, and I think it was Pat Patterson that actually said, Jim Ross, he's sitting there doing nothing. We could use him here. And I went on to say, when he was with the Cowboy, some bitch is detail oriented. None of this shit's going to fall through the cracks with him. He says, do you think he would want to do that? He goes, I don't want to put him back on the air. However, his instincts are good. Maybe we could use him as a producer and what have you. And Jim came and met with Vince at Vince's house. We were there, and we didn't meet with Jim, just said hello, and he went and met with Vince, and that was that. Vince came out and said, you guys are done having a look at the live event bookings night tonight. And good God, it was like Christmas for us. Because yes, thank you, Jesus. So Jim came back to book the live events, the house shows, and to work with TV and produce, as he said, the commentators and the color guys, and try to help TV just tell better stories.
It is fascinating that he's, helping produce TV where he is even producing some of the announcers, which is kind of fun. And one of those announcers he's producing is Vince McMahon. Talk about role reversal from what we know years later. Summer of '95, you guys put JR back on TV. He wrote that you said, "You're back." And Jim asked, "Back where?" And you replied, "On commentary." Jim says, and just like that, with no explanation, fanfare, reason, or logic, I was back out there with both Vince and Jerry Lawler. The WWF were moving their commentators around, trying to get the right mix across the shows, and my name came up. Vince gave me the nod. So JR is now a part of a 3-man booth with Jerry and Vince. What do you remember about this after being sort of behind the scenes? All of a sudden, what's old is new again.
Yeah, just trying to mix it up and trying to, I make fun of Vince's commentary style. I made fun of it then because it would be, oh my, and then from there, what a maneuver. And with Raw and just with Lawler and Vince had great chemistry, and it was a way to add kind of that Bruno element almost for Lawler, so that you only needed Lawler for the comedic relief and Jerry to get his lines in there, but we needed something with a little more meat for the color. And so it was originally almost as if Vince was going to do play-by-play, JR was color, and Lawler be the analyst, and kind of morphed into Vince being color, JR doing play-by-play, and King being the analyst, to what we ultimately ended up with JR and King. But yeah, change of pace, just mixing things up and trying something new.
Yeah, it's good to see him back here. JR would write about this, 3-man booth by saying that he felt like they had good chemistry right away. But it's very hard for King and Lawler to go into business for themselves because they're sitting right next to the guy who owns the company. And he thought that Vince brought out a different side on camera. He was more playful, a more mischievous side. He enjoyed working with him. What did you think of the 3-man booth?
I'm not a big fan of 3-man booths, but I thought they were good. And I think that the reason for that was because Vince did control it, and he was able to put a harness on himself and tag both guys in when they needed to be tagged in. So the fact that they had good chemistry worked as well. You know, you never knew what was going to come out of King's mouth, and Jim was good at bringing you right back where you needed to go in the story. So I thought they had great chemistry and were good.
It doesn't last long though. JR's back off commentary and put backstage again, and we would see him pop back up doing commentary on the Beware of Dog pay-per-view. After they lost power, they had JR, Mr. Perfect, and they did some commentary on the matches that had to be redone.